You've probably heard it 1,000 times by now. Just start a SIP, invest 5,000 rupees a month and watch your money grow. Sounds super simple, right? But then you actually step outside. You look at the price of, well, literally everything around you, vegetables, petrol, rent, school fees, and you kind of can't help but think, what is the actual point? It really feels like inflation is just eating everything in sight. You start worrying that your 5,000 rupees today is going to be worth absolutely nothing in 20 years. And frankly, you're not wrong to worry. But what if I told you that the math is actually heavily on your side?
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to look at the cold, hard numbers. Here's our roadmap. We'll cover the silent wealth killer, the real SIP math, how systematic investing actually crushes inflation, why investors still fail, a tale of two futures, and wrap it up with your SIP action plan. Let's dive right in. Section 1. The silent wealth killer. Understanding the 5 to 6% inflation enemy.
Before we talk about building wealth, we've got to define the enemy. In India, inflation has hovered right around 5 to 6% for the last 2 decades, just quietly draining your purchasing power. I mean, look at how visceral this invisible threat is when we talk about everyday items. A simple cup of tea that costs 20 rupees today, that's going to set you back 86 rupees in 30 years. A 60 rupee liter of milk, that jumps to 259. A 100 rupee liter of petrol skyrockets to 432 rupees. If you're just keeping your money tucked away under a mattress or letting it sit completely idle in a regular savings account, you aren't just stalling out, you are actively losing wealth. Your money is physically shrinking in value.
And honestly, it gets even more staggering when we look at the big purchases. Think about a standard 2 BHK flat that costs 1 crore today. In 30 years, that exact same flat is going to cost over 4.32 crores. Just let that sink in for a second. Yes, sure, your salary might double every 7 or 8 years, but your major life expenses are skyrocketing just as fast, if not faster. This right here is exactly why you need an investment vehicle that doesn't just match inflation, but outruns it entirely.
All right, Section 2, the real SIP math, crunching the nifty 50 numbers.
So the solution is finding an investment that actually outpaces rising prices. Historically, the Nifty 50 has delivered average annual returns of around 12 to 14%, which easily beats that 5.5% inflation rate. Let's make this super concrete with a 5,000 rupee monthly SIP. Now, at the 10-year mark, I'll admit, things can feel a little discouraging. You've invested 6 lakhs. Your nominal corpus, that big shiny number staring back at you on your screen, is 11.5 lakhs. But the real value, what it can actually buy in today's money after inflation takes its cut, is only about 7 lakhs. It kind of feels like inflation is winning, right? But hold on, look at the 20, 25, and 30-year milestones. The longer you stay invested, the more your real returns just completely snowball.
The absolute crucial point here is this. Over 30 years, your total out-of-pocket investment is just 18 lakhs. Assuming a 12% return, your nominal corpus hits a massive 1.87 crores. But here's the kicker. Even after we strip away the devastating effects of 30 years of inflation, the real purchasing power of that money, its true tangible value, is 43 lakhs. You didn't just survive inflation, you absolutely crushed it.
Moving to Section 3, How SIPs Crush Inflation, the 3 Secrets of Systematic Investing.
Now that we've seen that the math actually works, it's incredibly empowering to understand exactly why this strategy succeeds where a regular savings account fails. It's not magic, guys, it's just market mechanics. The first secret is the very nature of equities. When you invest in an index fund, you're investing in real-world companies. And companies are naturally inflation-resistant. Think about it. When raw material costs go up, what do? They raise their prices, passing that cost right onto the consumer. So their revenues and profits rise with inflation, and as a result, so do their stock prices. Your investments naturally ride that wave upward.
The second secret is compounding. Now, yes, inflation compounds your expenses year after year, which, let's face it, is terrifying. But compounding is also working over on your investments. You earn returns on your initial 5,000 rupees, and then you earn returns on those returns. Over a 20 or 30-year horizon, this snowball effect of compounding growth completely and utterly overtakes the compounding effect of inflation.
And the third secret? Rupee cost averaging. The stock market is volatile, right? Especially during inflationary periods. But a SIP turns that exact volatility into your biggest advantage. Because you're investing a fixed amount automatically every single month, you naturally end up buying more units of a fund when the market drops and fewer units when the market peaks. You're averaging out your costs automatically without having to stress about timing the market, which drastically reduces your risk.
Let's ground all three of these secrets in one final, really powerful example. Imagine you invest 10,000 rupees a month for 30 years. You've invested just 36 lakhs out of pocket. Thanks to equities, compounding, and rupee cost averaging, your nominal corpus at 12% is 3.5 crores. But here is the real magic. Even after 30 long years of heavy inflation, your real spending power is 80 lakhs in today's money. You have 2.2 times the real spending power of what you originally put in.
Section 4. Why investors still fail. The psychology of losing.
Okay, we really have to address the elephant in the room here. If the math is so foolproof, why isn't everyone walking around rich? I'm sure you've heard someone say this, or maybe you've even thought it yourself. I'm waiting for the perfect time to enter the market. Stocks are just gambling. This inner monologue is super common. And hey, it's totally valid to be afraid of losing your hard-earned money. But waiting on the sidelines out of fear is the ultimate trap. Why? Because while you wait, inflation is actively destroying the money you're holding on to.
Let's break down the 3 fatal reasons people fail. First up, short-term panic. When the market inevitably crashes, like it did in 2008, 2020, or 2022, people panic. They stop their SIPs and they lock in their losses, entirely missing out on the massive recoveries that historically always follow. Second is a severe lack of patience. People expect life-changing results in just 1 or 2 years. But as we saw earlier when crunching the numbers, the real explosive growth happens in years 15 to 30. And third, they simply don't believe historical data. They view the 12 to 14% historical return of the Indian market as some kind of fluke, rather than a factual track record of economic growth. But always remember this: inflation does not care if you're scared.
Section 5. A Tale of Two Futures, Rohan versus Amit.
Let's translate all this heavy math into a relatable human story. Meet 2 25-year-old friends, Rohan and Amit. They both earn 60,000 rupees a month and both want to retire comfortably at 60. Now, Rohan decides to start a 10,000 rupee monthly SIP at age 25. He stays disciplined for 30 years. His nominal value hits 3.5 crores, giving him 81 lakhs in true spending power. He retires incredibly comfortably. Amit, on the other hand, thinks investing is just way too risky. He saves his 10,000 a month in a bank account earning a 3% interest rate. After 30 years, Amit has about 58 lakhs, nominally, but after inflation, it's worth less than 27 lakhs in today's money. Amit is really going to struggle in retirement. Same age, same exact income, 2 entirely different futures dictated by just one choice.
Finally, Section 6. Your SIP Action Plan. 5 steps to beat rising prices.
Now that you've seen the data, it's time to take some practical action. Here's your straightforward 5-step plan. Step 1, start now. Please, do not wait for perfect conditions. Step 2, choose a good index fund, like the Nifty 50 or a well-rated FlexiCap fund. Just look at the 10-year data. Step 3, be consistent. Set up auto debit and treat your SIP like a completely non-negotiable utility bill. Step 4, don't panic. When the market drops, just remember that rupee cost averaging is automatically buying you more units on a massive discount. And step 5, step up 10% yearly. Seriously, every time your salary increases, increase your SIP amount by 10%. This single move will dramatically skyrocket your final corpus. So, my final question to you is this: will you beat inflation today? Inflation is absolutely guaranteed to be a part of your life for the next 30 years. You literally cannot stop it. But as we've proven in this explainer, you absolutely can beat it. So I challenge you right now, if you haven't started a SIP yet, set up a 5,000 rupee auto debit this week. And if you already have one, open your app and increase it by 10% right now. Don't let inflation silently destroy your future. Take control, stay disciplined, and build the wealth you actually deserve. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.